Hi, this is Phil from Breakthrough Fitness, and I just want to show you a couple techniques that you can do to feel better, move better, and improve your health on a daily basis. Check it out. Okay, gang, we're going to start down on the ground. Now, the first muscle group that we're going to focus on is the calves, and we're going to use a foam roller. I'm going to show you how to foam roll your calves and why it's so important, especially if you're running, doing long walking, cycling, any high-intensity exercise. It's really important that the calf muscle is loose and soft so that you don't have any restrictions in the ankle joint. If you start to do anything repetitive where your ankle joint isn't quite moving correctly, you're going to end up with some knee pain, maybe some back pain. So let me show you how we do it with the calf. First thing we're going to do is put the leg up on top and then take the opposite leg and pin. It's called a pin technique, where we put pressure from the top leg and we start to foam roll the bottom calf muscle. Now I'm going to start right at the belly of the calf, and what I'm doing is I'm actually looking for some tender spot. Now once I find one, I just want to oscillate back and forth, a small motion to release that knot, and then I might go back and look for another one. Notice that I'm turning my leg so I can get the interior part of the muscle, and then I'm going to go to the lateral part, the outside part of the calf. A little oscillation to kind of massage that knot. Okay, you can spend about 30 seconds and then switch legs. Okay, the next muscle group I want to focus on is the tibialis. It's a small muscle that's on the front part of your leg, and if you've ever done anything outside where you've run on hard pavement, you might have gotten something called shin splints, and that's this muscle. This muscle decelerates your foot as you're coming down, so as you're running and then coming down on the leg, it helps decelerate that motion, and then the calf, of course, extends you back up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn and get on top of the roller. And you know, I find that this exercise is super effective for runners. A lot of times runners, especially if you're doing trail runs or you're doing any type of hill running, this muscle group gets extremely tender, and it's almost always overlooked in the typical foam rolling techniques. So again, I'm looking for a spot, I'm going to put pressure on it, and I'm just going to oscillate back and forth. I can rotate my body to get a little more on the lateral side. I can go a little higher, closer to the knee, and then switch sides. Okay, as we move up the leg, I like to go to the outside of the leg, the IT band. So that runs from your hip where your pocket is, where you can feel that hip bone, all the way down toward your knee. And so what you want to do is you want to lay on the side of the foam roller. Now I'm going to take my top leg and I'm going to bring it forward, and this is going to allow me to control the pressure that I put on this muscle. So I like to start in the middle and then work my way up to the top. And again, I can rotate my body. I don't want to rotate too much because I'm going to get right on top of the quad. So I want to stay right here on the side. If I want a lot of pressure, I can bring both legs up. And again, remember that pinning technique, so now I'm sort of pinning. Again, once I find a tight spot, I'm going to oscillate back and forth until it loosens up. It's kind of like self-massage. That's the easiest way to think about foam rolling, is that it's self-massage. Slow inhales, relaxing exhales, especially if you hit a part that's really tender. The body's first response to any pain is going to tighten up. You want to just roll in a relaxed way. All right, let's get to the other side. As this series continues on the upper part of the leg, we're going to focus on the quads. Now this is very similar to the IT band. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lay down right on my quad. And again, I start in the middle of the muscle. And hopefully you can see this as I change the angle a little bit. You see my body, I'm in a pretty comfortable position, a plank position, and I'm just rolling a little bit forward and back. And this is definitely tight. I'm finding all kinds of spots. So remember, the technique when you hit a spot that's tender is to oscillate back and forth. It's also important not to hold your breath, just to breathe in a relaxed way and allow that muscle to get a little massage and release. Now, I don't want to roll too much because I'm going to get back on the IT band, which we already did, but I can definitely target different muscles of my quad. Now, since I'm already here, I'm going to turn a little bit. Notice my leg position. So I'm going to rotate my foot and I'm going to just slowly loosen that up and then release. Okay, and I'm going to move over to the other side. Okay, so we're going to move to the glutes now. Again, we talked about all this sitting that we're doing and how it might shut the glutes down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit and I'm going to work on my right cheek, that right leg that's extended out. That's going to be the leg that I'm actually focused on. And I'm going to sit right into the roller and then slowly work up. Remember, I start in the center of the muscle group, and then I'm going to move around to see if I can find a little spot. There is a way to add a little more pressure and to open the hip up, and that's to turn the leg, if you can get it in this position, and just open it up. And I can tell you that made a big difference. Now I can really feel that. Again, I'm going to oscillate a little bit when I hit an area that's a little tender. And remember, the front of the hip might be tight. It might shut the glutes down, but the glutes still need to roll. They can still get tight even if they're not functioning correctly. So I definitely want to loosen them up. All right, let's shift over to the other side. Ah, woo. Great. Loosens up the hips. I'm going to move better. I'm going to squat better. I'm going to sit better. I'm going to stand better. And I'm going to move better.